YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. This week is going to primarily be focused on me creating content for the Hisense U7K. We picked up this TV, and prior to this upload we did my unboxing and initial impressions on picture quality and things of that sort. So we're going to roll the content forward and keep it going this week. We've got about 5 videos planned, and when I'm done, I may add more. I'm not sure, but we'll have a playlist for sure for you to be able to go back and just kind of, you know, jump into that. So my biggest thing is I'd like for you guys to be engaged. We are going to have timestamps down in the description of this video, so you can go back forward wherever you want to look at to kind of get you to a space where you need to be. All right, so this video is going to be me focusing on the gaming aspects of this TV. One of the biggest things that I like to do with my televisions is play video games. It's on a casual level, but you know, I do like to get great performance. Now, I have this in 55-inch, so I'm going to change my seating orientation a little bit just to accommodate the spacing and the distance that I have from the TV. But we're going to be playing this thing today with a gaming PC. That's how we're going to test it, no consoles. So I modified my setup a little bit, and to the right of where I'm sitting now, my sweet spot, I've actually got my living room PC, which features a 3090 series RTX graphics card. So we got that set up. We got the Oculus set up. So I'm interested in testing a couple of different things, like the Quest, being able to like cast it. That's one thing. Not that the TV needs to really articulate the graphics, but also, you know, the gaming PC, just to see how it handles 4K at 144 hertz. So we're going to get all this going right after this intro. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So we've got the sweet spot center mash right here. I'm going to give you guys a brief tour on the setup here, just as some context type of content for this, so that you can see exactly what I've got going on. We'll card in right now the PC that I built for my living room. So if you are interested in deep diving into, you know, how I put together me a home theater PC for a setup like this, you can get that information. We've got Denon receiver in front with a clip system in front of us, 2 subwoofers, a center, left, right, towers, as you can see. And behind us, we've got some bookshelves. All right, I'm going to swing you guys around, so brace yourself. To the left, we've got a nice couch here, comfortable for the family. To the right, another couch there, comfortable. But then we've got another small TV stand over here. And above it, we've got the Corsair keyboard mouse, you know, in case you have to have keyboard mouse if you're playing. But we've got the Silverstone case, again, carded in the video so you can deep dive into that. We ran a 25-foot HDMI cable, as you can see, that's going from there all the way on over behind this DVD media shelf. So we've got a 2.1 HDMI cable routed to this TV. So if you have some context as to, you know, what equipment I'm using, how I got this connected, how I got this configured. So those questions will be answered right there for you. The channel. So we're going to start this off by just deep diving into some of these settings with the TV. This video is going to be focused primarily on the gaming aspects of this TV, and with me giving you conclusions at the end about like my opinion on it as a gaming monitor. 55-inch. I'm obviously sitting closer to be able to enjoy it, and I've got you guys up close in a space and an orientation that I think is going to be good for you guys to, you know, kind of not have to focus on any other sources around. I've turned lights off that were behind me to try to, you know, fight the reflection. The TV is super bright right now, real cloudy like mist, but I'm not so much focused on picture quality settings at this point. It's more so just performance settings. So we'll start this off by, on the Windows PC, going to NVIDIA control panel. The TV is going to default at the TV resolution native 3840 by 2160 at 60 hertz. I've covered this in several videos. It's going to go from 60 hertz all the way down to 23 hertz. We're going to go down to the PC side of it, pull up 3840 by 2160, and you can see we got 2 options here, 100 hertz and 120 hertz. We're going to go ahead to that. Now my camera's recording this in 4K at 30 frames per second. That's just as high as a frame rate as I can achieve on my camera. It is what it is though. So yeah, we definitely got 120 hertz. So yeah, that's there, that's working. So that's great. Let's go on over to some of the picture settings. With this remote, you hit menu and it brings up your game optimizer or your game bar. I'm not sure what they call it exactly, the game mode. On the left, we've got these two columns or these two categories segregated. A static image on the left just kind of shows us what the frame rate is set at 120 hertz. Tells us if we have high dynamic range or HDR turned on or off, and tells us about variable refresh rate, whether or not we have that turned on and off. I'll go back to the control panel settings and we'll turn that on in a few. But we got FPS viewing. When you turn this on, top left, it toggles that on or off. So that's pretty awesome to have, to be able to see what your frame rates are. So you don't have to, like, you know, turn it on in the video control panel or anything like that. You can have that on and that'll tell you. That's a pretty awesome feature. I wish everybody had a static option for that. Dark detail, you can turn this on or off. Doesn't change much. In my opinion, you turn it off, just looking at like the ink where Ryu is, it gets a little bit blacker. Yeah, the picture size. Now this is pretty cool. This changes on the fly. So 21:9 offers you an ultra wide aspect ratio. You can also do a super ultra wide, which is 32:9. So this would be common to like the 49-inch Samsung monitor. But for now, we're going to keep this just on a direct, so traditional 16:9. You can't modify the screen position. If you go to 21:9 or 32:9, you can modify that, so you can make it bottom or top or middle. So it's an option for you. This isn't an OLED, so you don't have to be so concerned with like black bars, but that's all preference if that's what you want. You know, as I said, I'm going to just focus this thing on the wide picture. FreeSync, not something I'm going to be messing around with. I'm on a gaming PC that has an NVIDIA RTX 3090. I think we got a 3090 Ti inside this build. Might be a 3090, I'm not sure. In any event, it's an NVIDIA graphics card, so don't need anything from AMD's FreeSync. The brightness is not something you can toggle here. I'm not sure what setting I have to turn on or off to make that a thing. And then you have a high refresh rate mode. So I got that turned on. We go down a little bit further. We go to a menu option. All right, in menu, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna see picture mode. Right now I got this set at game, sports, theater day, theater night, all of these different presets. This is pretty much all these are, they're presets. For the sake of the video, we're gonna focus this on gaming. You got sound, I'm not really conscious about that right now because I do have an audio video receiver set up for this, and the soundstage you can't touch. I guess if I was doing audio from the actual television or panel, I'd be able to modify that. It's set on standard. That doesn't have anything to do with the soundstage and quality that my receiver is outputting. When you go to game settings, you've got a couple options here. You got some opportunities to mess with contrast and black level. None of those appear to be available right now. I have no idea. I have to just figure out what I have to click to be able to modify that. Gonna toggle back, get to that setting. You hit back, it doesn't take you right back. Not sure why. HDMI format, again, 4. We've got set on that. Enhanced format. We're gonna keep it at this because this is for the sake of gaming. I don't like that you got to go all the way back to these options. Yeah, but these are all your opportunities right here. All right, man, I'll set this thing up a little bit. Not looking too bad to me. I'll tell you, at an angle though, viewing angles on this thing are not great. I'm talking about like as soon as you get to the side and all of this thing, it's just so washed out. It's ridiculous. Of course, I have you guys set on the tripod. We're right in the center. I've, peeked out some colors a little bit. I also, don't recommend turning on HDR on Windows. It just, oh my God, it just doesn't look good. I'm not even willing to, put that in the content because it's just, in between these transitions, I'm messing with settings and things of that sort. So we've dialed in some color a little bit just to give me some pop on the icons and such. And again, you guys are in the center, but as you start to go over to the left or the right, just a little bit, you know, this thing is completely washed out. You know, so this is not a TV that I would encourage if, you know, you are focused on the angles of the people that are sitting on the side, depending on what your situation is. Of course, if you buy this huge TV, if you buy this in a huge size and you put this in, like, let's say a traditional theater room, then if everything's lined up straight front, then hey, you have no issues. But this is a living room, not a theater room. So there's seatings on the left and right. And up to this point, I've been sitting on the left. So I'm just looking at this thing and I'm saying, man, it's just looking freaking bad. But when you stand up and get kind of to where you guys are, colors look good and it looks pretty crisp. So, all right, now it's time to go ahead and get a couple of games loaded up, see how this thing looks and plays and feels. All right, so we got some Destiny going on right here. All right, I had to actually get into a center spot with this so that I could enjoy this. Like I said, it just looks really, really fuzzy. And I don't like the way it looks on the angle, but this TV doesn't look too bad in the middle. Looks pretty good. Contrast is nice. The colors look pretty good. There's nothing like popping off the screen, but you know, I set this for realism. So, you know, I got some nice shades of red here. Definitely not like QD OLED type, but doesn't look too bad. When the screen went black, I'm not seeing like any kind of crazy blooming right now. So far, I mean, for 570, you know, just looks good. I know this thing is running at like 120 hertz. However, when I hit the menu, now that I've got the game open, my game bar isn't there. So not sure what that is. It might be, I don't know if there's like a special setting or anything, but I hit the menu and it's just not there as an option. We're in game mode. We've got the HDMI set and enhanced. So I'm not sure what's going on where I'm not able to get the actual game bar going as I'm playing a video game. Not sure what's happening there. But the content for what it is looks pretty good so far. Gotta get on this pike. Bad, man. Motion is pretty smooth. Like, I mean, the game is playing really nice. Looks good too. I cannot can't deny that. All right, that's Destiny.
Street Fighter 6.
All right, guys, gonna turn some Street Fighter 6 on, play with this a little bit just to see how it feels. This is more about how it feels than anything else. Everything looks good for the most part if you're sitting in the center of this. I think the consistent tale for this story is going to be viewing angles are bad on this thing and light bleeding on black bars are bad on this thing. So that does go for any content that's gonna have like cutscenes, and if it's a native resolution, especially if there is some light just illuminating through the screen over black. I'm telling you, you're gonna see it. I've tried to mess with some settings, but right now I think I've got a good space for how I like for things to look for me. Like I said, I didn't go for crazy vivid. I went for more organic, but with a little bit of pop. In any event, let's get a little bit of gameplay on this thing going so I can just talk to how it feels. All right, guys, so I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6. This game has been out for almost 3 months. And, you know, fighting games are like my forte, man. So colors look really good. This has a lot of green and purple and blue, and it's all tying in really nice. Again, I'm sitting in the middle and I got you guys right next to me with the camera. When I go over to an angle, it's the same thing. I lose a lot of detail with this. So I cannot stress enough, viewing angles on this are not the best. We're gonna go to practice, training. We are in game mode, so my sound system is just bringing it to life. Let me tell you, the sound is so good, you don't care about some of the picture quality drops. Now I'm familiar playing Street Fighter on monitors. We aim to play this in a competitive space. Yeah, it looks good. I'm playing with a controller. Straight up D-pad. It feels great though, man. I can't deprive. I can't deny it. Not deprive. I can't deny it. There's some picture detail definitely not there from what I've seen, obviously from like an OLED and such. This game is running at max settings, but it looks, I guess you can say, good enough. You know, the last thing that I seen in here with this game was the S95C, so in no way is it fair to compare it to that, but this ain't bad, man. Again, you know, for the budget option, yeah, it's not bad at all, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a look at Resident Evil 4. This is the remake, the entire remake. And looking at my viewfinder to the screen is pretty much a one-to-one. I don't know how my camera will be able to articulate exactly the depth of colors and such, but it doesn't look too bad. Set this in 4K if you can, widescreen it. Maybe adjust the brightness on your screen. Again, max settings. Now, listen, guys, we're going to get to a point where we do an S95B and a C2 comparison of this TV and those TVs. But while this looks good, I can tell you that there's definitely some type of details that I know that I'm missing. The game just looks different. It looks great, but it looks different. For the money though, man. I'm sitting in the middle of this thing and it's popping.
How far could he have gone?
It's popping. For $570, that red is redding. That red is redding. Look good, man. Like I said, with Street Fighter video with the transition, you know, I had S95C in here prior, and I remember how that TV make this game look. All right. I'm surprised I don't see like a more blooming and such though. It's looking pretty good. Damn. It's got its own vibe. All right, guys, I have to admit, it's been a solid experience so far. This is still like, you know, initial impressions, you know. The more that I make the content, the more that I'll be able to play with this TV, the more fluid I'll be able to speak to it. The one tell is that, and I've said this throughout the content that I've shot, I'm not sure exactly what I'll keep and what will make it to the final edit, but the TV looks pretty sweet, spot on, not as vivid. There's not even as much vivid potential. You know, when we talk about like an OLED, obviously there's the infinite contrast there with the true blacks. I mean, the truly real blacks, right? Pixels being turned off. And then when you go to a next level with the QD OLED, you have this level of saturation potential that is just unbeatable, right? But this is just, you know, as I said in the Resident Evil transition prior to this one, it has its own vibe, and I respect it. You know, when I think about the price point of this, $570, this is probably one of the better opportunities that you can get your hands on in 2023 in the gaming space. If you had this set up and, you know, this was in a game room and you maybe had this mounted and you had your chair right in front of it, I think you'd really enjoy this thing. It performs pretty well, feels great. You know, when I was playing during the Street Fighter transition, I was using a controller. Guys, I'm a quadruple OG arcade stick player. I mean, from 88, 89, 87, Street Fighter 1, I was banging on the machines then, right? So I play on arcade sticks. It felt so fluid. I was able to do some of the Zangief bread and butter combos just with a D-pad. So really nice, smooth. The picture just looks different. It looks different, right? And that's the best way I can articulate it. It's because I have had such a higher echelon of quality from the OLEDs and the QD OLEDs that I own. If you have, you know, seen those type of panels, I don't think that you would enjoy this much. But I do think that this is a great budget option. You know, there's just a lot of great things to it. Now, keeping in mind, I've been playing on some monitors. The price point, I paid more for monitors, LED monitors that I have in my arcade cabinets than this TV costs. So I think it's a really good option. So we're going to make some more content about this, but I wanted to put this together. Sound off. Let me know if you have any feedback on how this video was made or about the TV. Outside of that, I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. Turn the notification bells on because we'll have another video the next night, and the next night. We've got a 5-part series for this. Catch you on the next one. Peace, God bless, and as always say, Max love.